Yo, what's going on,
Yo,
people?
what's up? What's up, everybody? Back live again. Here we
No.
are. So look, man, we're gonna get right into it, yo. We got a video that we're gonna get ready to play. G about to get it loaded up and everything. What we want to do is hold on a second. Look, don't worry about that feedback. But look, what we want to do is we're gonna play this video and then we're gonna get right into a discussion, man. So whenever G ready, we'll go ahead, load it up and play it, and we're gonna talk about it.
Let's see. We got it definitely because he just pulled up these videos on here. I'm like, man, what is this guy
Mhm.
talking about, man? I gotta see what he's talking about. Cause I already know how he get down. Let's see.
It's gonna be an interesting
All
talk.
right.
It's gonna be an interesting talk, y'all. And
Exactly. Let's
everybody in
see.
the comment section, put how y'all doing, put how y'all feeling and everything down there
Yeah, how
while we
y'all
watching the
feeling
video.
today, man? How you feeling today? And while this video's going, I'm gonna go ahead and put in the chat. I'm gonna put in the chat the link to this to come up on board. Like I said, if you
Yeah.
want to join the discussion, fellas only. This is how we roll. We want to see how the fellas is doing in our community. Make sure you have a shirt on. We ain't playing that. No tank tops. Make sure you groom ready to talk as a man. Stand up straight. Like I said, we don't want nobody sitting on the bed on their stomach with their toes in the air. We don't want nobody coming there like that.
That's silly.
All right.
No, no, it's not actually. It's a scummy manipulation tactic, but it is not rape.
Let's use an analogy since you used one. You and I have been dating for a really long time and we decide that we want to go to dinner. We both get 2 sets of plates and you decide that you want some of my food. I don't feel like giving you any of my food. I don't really think I need to have a reason, I'm just not in the mood to give you any of my food. You keep asking and asking and asking and I keep telling you no. In between you asking me, you keep saying things like, oh come on, I've been hungry all day, why won't you give me any of your food? It's not fair. My significant other, don't you want to share your food with me? You then proceed to sulk for the rest of the date, and then when we get home, you continue. Well, what am I supposed to do now? Now I'm all hungry, and you didn't even help me. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a form of manipulation and guilt tripping that falls under the category of statutory rape. Did you catch that? Manipulation is one of the tactics often used in order to sexually assault or rape people, specifically women. With that analogy that I just gave you, were you ever under the impression that I ever actually wanted to give you my food? No. But you put me between a rock and a hard place that made me feel like a bad significant other if I didn't do what you wanted. For a lot of women, that's actually getting off easy because a lot of the times they'll threaten to end the relationship, threaten bodily harm, or break shit. And then at the end of it, when I finally do give you my food because I feel bad, you say, see, I knew you wanted to give me your food all along. Excuse you? Because that's often what happens whenever it comes to their significant others manipulating them. They make them feel like a bad partner whenever they don't want to give them their food. I don't even like using the phrase no means no anymore because a lot of dudes see that as a challenge. If they can pressure a woman enough or make them feel bad enough until they get a yes, then it's no longer rape. Yeah, buddy, that's not how that fucking works. Because guess what? That consent was never enthusiastic and she didn't actually want to give it to you. You just made her fucking feel bad. The fact at how often this is normalized honestly scares the shit out of me. Say it with me, everybody. The only kind of acceptable consent is enthusiastic consent.
All right. So Trey, you presented the video, Trey. So I guess what was it about that video that made you want to have that as a discussion topic? And then like, what's your thoughts?
Because it goes under the category of how we approach women, how we handle relationships, and what is rape. I know we have it in the men. Men get raped as
We can't
well.
we can't say the R word.
What do
We
we
gotta
say?
we gotta say grape.
That don't sound right.
we can't.
I mean, you just said it in the video a couple of times. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah, y'all say y'all grown. What am I look like telling y'all what to do? Shit, my big, y'all are grown. Y'all grown men. Y'all say what y'all want to say. So overall, what's the topic? Good
Do
video.
you
What's the topic?
do y'all agree with this young man's consensus?
Like which part? What you mean? Like what's the
With the,
question? Like do you agree that like coercing women into being with them or like
to having sex, do you believe that guilt tripping a woman into having sex with you or using any type of manipulation to have sex with you is basically rape?
It depends on what it say in the law books. If it say that in the law books, then that's what it is.
I don't
Um,
agree.
no, but if it's the law, then you could go to jail for that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the law is around that. Now,
I,
go ahead, Trey.
I disagree with the being law because law is inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? They're continuously, that's what all these amendments and changes to this constitution is about, is the law is inaccurate. Um, so I can't just say that, based on this written documentation, especially I'm gonna push a nerve right here, especially one that's formed by men talking about women.
Hmm.
You
was that
know
a
what I
man? Was
mean?
that supposed to be a man? Was that a boy?
I guess so.
Yeah, I like how Tracy guess so. I mean, uh, yes
I,
and
I
no.
I would say this. Like I say, I can't go about based by the letter of the law. I can't go by that. But do I agree with the sentiment of men constantly trying to coerce a woman to do something that they already told you they don't want to do? That's totally wrong. That's
Hmm.
like, yo, like, there's plenty of women out here you don't got to coerce to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? So to try to guilt trip somebody, to try to manipulate somebody, or any of those type of things to get what you want is not right. Now I can't, like I said, I can't speak on the letter of the law when it comes to what he was talking about. But what I'm talking about is the, like you say, the tactics that men use, and I know men use these tactics to
Hmm.
get the box.
Yep.
It's not right, man. It's not right, and we got to teach our men to have more self respect for yourself, to not beg and like, yo, like, you don't got to use those tactics. Yo, take your L, go on to the next one, and we got to teach our young women to have more self respect, to not cave in to those demands. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fall into that coercion or that peer pressure to feel like you got to do something.
But it's often more than just peer pressure. I mean, it would be completely cool, and I agree. It would be completely cool if a woman could say no, be stern on it, and a guy could take that. But a lot of guys insecure about rejection, especially from a woman. So I know we've seen and been told of, from a woman how in her experience, like a lot of times, like if a guy pressuring her just for her number, she'll give the number or give a wrong number just to get the guy away from her. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we don't know how to take no for an answer. But it's confusing because women also say don't, they want to challenge you. They don't want, don't stop at the first no. Rejection, the first no is the start of a negotiation. So it's like, don't stop at the first no. You ain't even tried. So it's like, where's the line of keep going after you say no?
Well, to me, that's an immature woman. Why you just
Mm.
can't say what you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I gotta jump through hurdles just for you when you could have just told me from the jump what it was? So to me, if you do have a woman like that, then that might not be who you want to be dealing with anyway, because you're gonna always be jumping through hurdles or jumping through loops. So that should be a warning to the guy that, like, yo, if a woman come to me and was like, yo, I know I told you no before, but really I wanted you to talk to me, I'll be like, well, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Like, what's you know what I'm saying? Like, because now I done moved on. I'm on to the next person now. And now that you're telling me that, it look like you playing games now. So I don't even really want to deal with you like that anyway now. So I get what you're saying, Trey, because it is some women out there, but I think grown women and mature women won't maneuver like that. Where they, you know what I'm saying? They won't have you. They won't tell you no when they really mean yes. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. What's your take, Abe?
And like I said earlier, it's a no and a yes. It depends on like this. Did I say it right? Corrosion. I say that's corrosion. That's like on the battery. What do you say?
Coercion.
Yeah. Coercion. Yeah. I'm a C student, y'all, for real. So it's a yes or no, because it comes to a point where why most of the time we may have to get the job that we want to get to, or the reason why we get the haircut that we want to, or the lines that we practice maybe in a mirror, or try to figure out what to say to a woman and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff is not just you. It may become into a point where it's like you're trying different tactics to get to the box. And then some people name it as maybe a trickster, and some people nowadays they call it as game or whatever it is. So how you get to a point where you did all that and you still got the box and all that, and you can still be labeled as, oh, he said whatever he could to try to get what he wanted. I think all men do that. Not to the extent where it's like so bad we going to great. Not saying that, and we ain't all doing that. Not to that extent, but I think all men use some type of talk or some type of movement just to get to what a girl wants. I mean, I think that's what all men do.
I agree with that.
That's my opinion.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I mean, how do we get to a point where it's a fine line, like what Trey says, a fine line where you're just doing it just to get it, or I have to do this stuff to get some. It's like, what I mean, how can we decipher between the two sometimes, you know?
I also I think guys shouldn't think that just because they put forth effort or an attempt at getting at a woman, that they should expect her in return to do as he pleases. Because take the bar scene, for example. A guy buys a woman a drink, maybe a few. He expects to take her home that night, or, something, some type of reciprocity. I mean, she could have been polite. She could have said, thank you, I appreciate it, and everything. But because she didn't say, I'm going to give you my number, or we can go slide to your crib, or whatever, that he gets insulted. I've seen it, man. The guy starts yelling, demanding her to pay him back.
Yep.
I'd have seen it, man. I'd have seen it and heard of it too many times, and it's like, yo. And for us, like as an onlooker, as a guy, initially you want to be able to just jump in and be like, yo, bro, chill. That ain't the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's the protector in you, even if it ain't your woman. You still want to protect our women. You know what I'm saying? You still want to protect women, and try to teach this brother some patience and some understanding. But at the same time, if he already this emotional, ain't no telling what he got in the car, and no telling what could happen next. And we go back to that conversation about brotherhood and discernment that we had with Brother Wesley. It's just like, man, what's the solution? Because for the women, it just seems like give in. The easiest way out is to give him what he wants.
I definitely heard that before, and that's the part of with me having a daughter is just, I ain't gonna lie, like that's the part I be worried about. You know what I'm saying? But also the only thing I could try to tell her to do is try her best to stay out of compromising situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you really feeling the guy, maybe that's the only time you take the drink. Otherwise, you politely decline. But if you decline, they can feel the type of way. Like, we in a very sensitive society. You know what I'm saying? And so, the best thing I felt like for you, I can't even speak for women. With us as guys, how I operate, I only do things out of genuineness. I only do things because that's what I want to do. If I was to buy a woman a drink, it's because I want to buy you a drink. Yes, I will hope that let me get to know you a little bit more. But if not, okay, hey, I did what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop,
man. I don't believe that, boss.
Why you say that? So you think I'll feel the type of way she told me no after I bought her a drink?
No. Let me do some. Let me do some fallback. I don't mean 100% like now. You ain't like that now. I believe that it was always in all man's development. There was always a point where they did different stuff just to get it. I don't think now you're mature and now we're mature as men that we don't do that anymore. But I can believe at a time at 18, maybe to 22, your mind was like, I'm gonna do this because I'm trying to get some. I think all dudes did that at one point.
Sure.
It depends on what you mean by did something. Like, have I drove a long way to get some? Absolutely. In the middle of the night. Yeah.
How long? Dang.
I drove by like an hour before in the middle of the night.
You did not drive an hour.
Oh, boy.
Yes, I did. I surely did before. I drove about a good hour. But what I would say is, but I think it's more so along the mental manipulation. But it's hard because I do agree with you, G. Like, women do stuff for men, men do stuff for women. You know what I'm saying? I don't disagree with you. I guess what I'm trying to state is, like, you clarify what your intentions are, and not everybody clarify what their intentions are behind what they're doing. You get what I'm saying?
Ain't that part of the game, though?
Yeah.
Ain't that part of the what is it? Cat and mouse? Ain't that part
not stating your intentions?
I don't think you don't have to always state your intentions. I think, like, you teach with your daughter. You told her, like, you know, if you accept certain things, you should already know in the back of your mind that he wants something in return without even saying anything. And that's how.
But the question, now the question is, what I would teach my daughter is, what are you looking in return? You ask them. You got to figure out what people's intentions are. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants something, but what is it he want? Some dudes want to be with you. Some dudes want to be in a relationship with you. Some dudes only want to smash you. That's the part you got to decipher. And that's why I'd be like, to get clarity, I'll let you know where I'm coming from. Like, yo, like, hey, I just want to get to know you right now. Like, whatever happened, but I'm not looking for nothing serious. I'll let you know what my intentions are. You know what I'm saying? If I was like, yo, I really like you, I want to be with you, I want you to be my woman. Yeah, I made my intentions clear on what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff comes from mix, like Trey said, lack of communication, people not stating or let people know exactly what they really want. And then also you mix in people being emotional and sensitive.
But when you think about it, I mean, that's always the correct way, and that's always the right way for us to, to operate. Trey will be back, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be to operate, but how many times do you think that's happened? I know that's not happening a lot. I think that of course, it's a breakdown in the family structure as far as we need to be able to teach our kids that, especially our women and men, not just women, but men, to be able to be vocal about what you want and to be able to set those boundaries. I mean, it's a wonderful fantasy. We want that to happen, but we always draw it down to it's how you're brought up. How you're brought up. So we gotta be able to teach our kids that they need to be able to ask the correct questions and ask the right questions. And I clap it up to you because you're actually teaching your daughter to do that. That's the first step, is to be able to do it in your household, and you be able to everybody else to do it. So kudos to you.
Most communication is nonverbal, especially with the fellas. So we see Like, what are some signs that a woman might even show some type of attraction to us? And this gonna go into the lines of the episode of how to approach women. The the eye contact or the swooping of the hair, and all of these nonverbal things that are like signals, like come here, come talk to me. And even if they don't give you those signals, if you feel like, damn, she the baddest one in the room, I gotta talk to her. When you go approach her and you have that type of confidence, then it usually signals something to her, like, and she's usually in a group setting. So you pick her out the group, she feels special and all of that stuff. So it's like, that's why I'm like, what is the line? Because I don't want to have to teach women that be on the lookout for a genuine dude. You know what I mean? Be on the lookout for, or it's just like, I don't like that guys have used being a gentleman for deception to get the box. They use love and everything. I tell a girl she love her just to make her go harder. I heard it in a song, Finesse 2 times. But I only told you that because I pranked you. I wanted you to give me the box. You know what I mean?
And that go back to what I said. You ask what the intentions are, but now your actions got to line up with the intentions that you said. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like a twofold thing. You told me something. Now I'm gonna watch you and see if you operate. Like, if you told me you want to be with me, then your actions should line up in that way. If you say, yo, I just only want to smash, then your actions should line up in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be, if we only said you want to smash, what you getting all emotional and stuff about me for? You said this is what you only want. So it's about figuring out how to, the intention and then the actions and everything behind it, and do they match? Because at the end of the day, you can never really know people's intentions. You only go by what they tell you and what you see. So, I mean, it's an interesting dialogue. And with me having a daughter, these are definitely things, even at the age of 8, I'm talking to her about, and getting her in the realm of asking questions, because it's two things. People can only lie and trick you for so long before the true them comes out. And whether it's through conversation or whether it's through their actions, they're going to show who they really are. So sometimes you just got to be able to wait people out as well, too. So, it's an interesting thing. But I agree with G. We do things to get women. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Women do things to get men. It's just about the genuineness. And the genuineness can be like, yo, I'm just trying to smash. That's being genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, you can only respect somebody from my standpoint if they telling you what they really want. You can only respect it. That don't mean you got to do it, or that don't mean you agree with it, but you respect, yo, hey, no, I'm not on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, thank you, I appreciate it, but no, I'm not on that type of time. Keep it respectful and just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think about it.
I've definitely gotten that response, and I've been blunt about, my approach. I'll be honest, I don't have game. I'm just blunt, and I can talk. Disclaimer: all of this is pre-marriage. I'm married now. For anybody that's watching, go ahead, put that out there. You know what I mean?
Oz is married.
I don't want no problem. That woman's strong. I taught her how to box, so I know when it's a play fight or she's serious.
Oh man.
But yeah, all the seriousness. Taking it to the other point that he said, I was agreeing with the young man in the video, the young person in the video, until, like you mentioned, like how it's unless it's enthusiastic consent. It might be enthusiastic the first time, but in a long-term relationship, somebody ain't always gonna be enthusiastic about,
Exactly.
It ain't always enthusiastic, and personally, me, I'm too passionate to take. I don't like feeling like I'm taking it, and I'm too passionate to. I be blunt. I say I don't want no ass pussy. Don't just Don't just here. Here it is.
What?
Don't give me that. So part of me is like I want your enthusiasm because I want you. I want your enthusiasm because I want you to want me as much as I want you. Like, sex should be a fun thing. It should be a privilege for both parties, and it should be a party for both parties. I don't like. I don't have duty sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a fun time for me, and
Yeah.
for it to be a fun time, we both need to be having fun. You know what I mean? And that could cross into another conversation, but I don't fully agree with the consent having to be enthusiastic, but the consent has to be there.
Mhm.
That's
And
all.
stop pressuring these women too.
Right.
Yo, like it's too many others out here, yo.
If she done said no 4-5 times, bro, leave it alone, bro. Dang. Like, she said no.
Why you want to do it with me? Bro,
Right.
stop it. Yo, keep going, yo. It's plenty out- like, yo, I get you guys. Listen, if you just go, hey, how you doing? I like you. I want to get your number. If you say that to about 20 to 30 women, you gonna get at least one number just off of that. At minimum one. That ain't game. That's just talking and just straight to the point. You get at least one number. Then if you get, let's say you got 30 women and be like, yo, like for real, yo, like I think you fine. I think, I don't really want that serious. I just want to hit the jank. If you ask that to about 30 women, you probably get one. You know what I'm saying? It's a numbers game. It's a number game. If that's how you want to move, if that's how you want to operate, instead of just dwelling on one, play it out. Like spread it out and everything, man. So, like, there's no reason to be pressuring women for no box right now, yo. Like,
Right,
cut that out, man. It's too many fish in the sea, man.
Right.
And that
And if
hair
you
pussy is crazy, Trey. Just to let you know.
That
That hair pussy.
That's crazy.
I
That's
don't want
crazy.
no That is no enthusiasm there. I don't want it. You don't want me. You need to be excited about it. This is royalty right here. Not everybody gets up with this. So,
Hey,
it's a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Respect, man.
hey, real quick, because we about to get wrap up this topic, but hey, G, is your video ready? Is your
Yeah,
video-
man. Yeah, we gotta we're gonna skip the health one. We're gonna get
Okay.
another one. We'll get a little
One
little
more,
deep
one more
into.
point.
Wait, I'm
One
sorry.
more. So, when it comes to this, of course, women get sexually assaulted much more higher rate than men. And I saw where it said that is every female is 97% chance of a woman getting sexually assaulted within her lifetime, from childhood to adulthood.
It's crazy.
Versus the 3% for men, so men do get sexually assaulted too, and it happens more often than we know because we don't talk about things. For that to be out there, I mean, just think about that. As much as we talk about protection, as much as we talk about being a good guy and being able to have a community, I mean, we gotta have some type of understanding of why women are in defense, why women are on the lookout, on the prowl. Because you think about kidnapping, that ain't really happening with men. And it's like trafficking, human trafficking is still going up. So guys, you gotta do better. You shouldn't feel like you have to take sex. At that point, you need to just be getting more in tune with yourself, because when you develop certain characteristics as a man, such as discipline and not being a yes man or a nice guy, then they'll be more willing to give it to you. So you gotta be able to be a man. No more sexual assaulting.
I agree with that. All right, so that was a good way to wrap up that part of this live. I think we about to get ready to go. G about to get ready to throw it to the second video. But while he doing that, put it down in the comments what your thoughts are, man. Shout out to I am Mr. West.
Yes, sir.
He been commenting a lot and everything, man. So shout out to
Appreciate you,
him
man.
and shout out to everybody that's out there viewing right now.
Yeah, and not only that, but I went on Mr. West's. If y'all need to plug in and connect with him, because he's been working with Brother Ben X. I know he named him, but he's been working with Brother Ben X, and I tuned into their live call on Zoom this morning, and it was.
Oh, I was on there too, Trey. Hey, Wes, both of us was on there.
So shout out to you, man. What you doing behind the scenes as well as in the forefront. We see you working, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's always love.
All right, we're gonna kick the random video of the day. I think that's gonna come up with a topic. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. We're gonna do random video of the day.
Okay.
Yeah, not random video, but random topic of the day. Random topic of the day before I get the other one, because the one that I really want to talk about, you guys, is very crucial to men, and I do want to play it today. Is just, I think because of the quality of it, it's taking forever to upload, and that's my. I apologize as being an engineer. I apologize on that. So we're gonna go to this one, then we're gonna get to the one that I really want to talk about with you guys today.
All right.
All right. Let's cue this up. And
the music is the problem.
Because the music glorifies
the music. Bro, I look at this shit as a whole epic plot. All these niggas that sign all these rappers, they got a plot. They know what they doing. They ain't paying these kids millions of dollars for nothing. They paying them millions of dollars for something because they know what's gonna happen. Pay this kid millions of dollars, put him on the radio. He gonna promote all the fuck shit to all the people in the hood, and then they gonna do the fuck shit. And then, bro, it's psychological. Like, because I'm thinking about this. When I was younger, I thought like that. When I heard records that said shoot that nigga, rob that nigga, steal, kill, that's what I wanted to do.
Being drummed into your brain.
It's being drummed into your ears. Shoot that nigga, kill that nigga.
You can't help but internalize the glorification of it.
Bro, you fall in love with it. You fall in love with it.
And we both know grown-ass men who are still in love with that idea. They're in love with carrying guns. They're in love with doing the drugs that kind of come with it.
Music has done to us, bro. Music has literally told us, shoot black people, shoot as many black people as you want, and run from the cops. That's what music has told us, bro.
Yeah.
Sell drugs to our own people, buy all the materialistic shit, buy all the shit that don't help us, Aston Martins, Bentleys, all the extra shit, Rolexes, all the extra shit, spend all our money, don't invest, don't do nothing to help the family, fuck the bitch, bitches ain't shit, hoes. Like, music has, bro, I was brainwashed before. Now that I don't listen to music, my mind's so open, I listen to country music, all type of shit. Get all these fake niggas off the street. I'll snitch on everybody, fuck it. Get off the street, my nigga.
But, so do you respect someone who stays, who says that they live by that code and then proceeds
Fuck the code.
You don't respect that?
You know what the code is? Dumb black nigga. That's the code. The code is I kill as many black niggas as I can to prove my hardness. But if it's time to really ride out for our people as a whole, I'm going in the house. That's what the code is.
Wow.
That's the game banker code. You know what the game banker code is? Shoot that nigga, smoke that nigga, running from the cops. That's the game banker code. We don't need no more game bankers. We need soldiers for our people as a whole, bro. Like, we don't need no more street niggas. We don't need no more game bankers. We don't need no more niggas selling dope to our own people. We don't need no, bro. This shit is all part of an epic plan.
But what's it going to take to make
I'm gonna tell
the average person think of their community as their group?
Music.
Hello.
Hey, who was that talking?
Daylight.
That was Daylight.
Daylight.
All right, I thought that was Daylight, yo. I thought that was Daylight. Okay.
So my question on this one, because this is one that I've been praying on for a while, like for a long time, that I've been praying on to fight with, you know. And I go back and forth with it because I'm a hip hop rap dude. I mean, I'm old school. I mean, I'm the one that had, y'all remember back then when y'all had the CD books and y'all had the 6-disc changes?
You had the Walkman, G. You had the Walkman.
I had the Walkman, and then I had my 6 disc in my car in high school. I went to the iPod. I downloaded all the videos. I was one of them dudes. I'm saying on here, I was making blank CDs. You know the CDs you can make that you can get on there, and I was even selling them. I ain't gonna lie. I was back in the day. I'm a hip hop dude. I mean, from everywhere. But young man made he made a lot of sense, and I've been thinking on it for a long time. So, question is, should black people start boycotting and canceling rap music?
No.
Hip hop and rap are two different things. Hip hop and rap are two different things. Hip hop has the message. Hip hop is more lyrics. Hip hop has a meaning and a reason. And hip hop is for the culture. Hip hop is knowledge and wisdom spread apart. Hip hop was created in resiliency and rebellion to what the approach. Somebody keep calling me, bro. How the hell? Can y'all?
Yeah, you sound real clear now.
I got my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm still getting calls. What is happening?
That be happening to me sometimes too.
All right, all right. 1 second. I gotta tap out and come back in so I can.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and speak while we waiting on Trey. I don't think
Okay.
we. I don't think we should cancel or boycott hip hop. I think it's mainstream hip hop. I think that's what it is. A lot of artists out here, man, that's spreading a good message. That ain't talking about rap would make you think everybody talk about this stuff, and they don't. It's a lot of people that's spreading good messages. That is, you know what I'm saying? It's not about gang violence. It's not about selling drugs. It's not about, downgrading on women. It's a lot of hip hop and art. Like you got the Rhapsodies. You got your Lecrae's and stuff like that. You got different artists that don't even curse. So it's
Chameleon.
it's what gets promoted. Is
That's
what
what we
we
was
need to
talking about.
boycott.
That's
Go
what
ahead.
we was talking about back with Black Culture is Trash. Not to keep cutting you off, but
You
we
good?
all passionate about this one. But that's what we was talking about with Black Culture is Trash because hip hop is the culture. Rap is what everybody has been able to jump on the tail end of. Anybody could put ABC 1 2 3 together to 808s. You know what I mean? But a real lyricist, real hip hop, you could take the bass out. Real hip hop, you could be a cappella. You know what I mean? So when it comes to hip hop, I do believe what he said. The solution is in the music. The solution is in the music, but not only that, but it's in the distribution of that music, and it still goes back to the communication for me because I listen to trap music too, but I listen to trap music. I can listen to the I sold drugs and shoot a nigga, but the energy is being aggressive, and I need to transfer this energy towards something that I need to be aggressive towards. So it's more so like boosting the confidence and stuff. I don't actually pick up a gun and think I need to shoot my own people. And shout out, when you have some type of principles and morals that you stand on, that I sold mixtapes too. I told you I had my own corner and I was
Mm-hmm.
doing it all. I was doing it. I actually was doing it big. Anytime you can make hundreds of dollars a day, then you're doing something. You know what I mean? So I was doing that. I was making moves, able to get my own clothing, able to help my mother with her bills and stuff, and that was all through music. Um, Even getting into music myself and making music, I was like inspired, and so many connections, so many things, so many people was met. So much happened through the movement of hip hop and what it actually stands for versus just rap. Like and shout out to Mr. Robert Utley. I wish he would bring his big old Leo self up on here, but shout out to Mr. Robert Utley, because this is what he was saying. Like you look at BET, Black Entertainment Television, and they use black, but black don't own that. You look at the what is it, NAACP, and it's owned by people who are not black as well.
Real
So
quick, hey Trey, I want to add something in. There's a little
yeah,
financial aspect. I just heard, and I didn't do no research, but Tyler Perry, I think, bought BT, VH1, and all of that. I believe.
okay.
Y'all
See
put down
that,
in the comments if y'all heard the same thing too. But I think that's what I heard. I think Tyler Perry just bought them.
and shout out to Tyler Perry. I know he gets a bad rep because of the type of movies, but I think he just used that to gain the capital to make the move that he thinks needs to be made. So if
We're
that's
gonna have to
something
talk
that
about
he
that another
actually
time too.
did, if that's something that he actually did, then I could see that as progress in the initial step of ownership. But what he do with it, that's gonna be that needs to be watched.
Mm.
If that's what happens. So yeah, you look back at this, when we say promotion, we're not just saying like you funneling an ad. We talking about who is the one who gave the capital to fund whatever is now being created with their intention. What was their intention? Because I mean, you go back to Jesus Walks before Kanye became such a conspiracy in himself. You go back to Jesus Walks, and he said it himself in the song. Like, you mean I could talk about Black lives, sex, drugs,
Sex lives,
killing,
videotapes, but if I talk about God, my record won't get played, huh? Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? So for the longest, we couldn't even talk about God on the radio. You know,
Mm.
but we could say, and now when you look at the FCC and what's allowed to be said, there's all types of curse words that's allowed to be said on the radio. You could say damn and hoe. You can't say like fuck, shit, and sometimes bitch. Sometimes all of that could get slide
Mhm.
too. It's like, yo, like we could say, and a lot of, like, it's a whole lot that can be said to push a agenda. And then you said it yourself. You think about the songs that we hear repeatedly. Most of the time, it's songs that we don't like, we don't vibe with. But anytime, like, you could be listening to a streaming platform, you listening to the type of music you want, and then they'll cut to this song, and then that artist explaining, check my music out real quick. And then it's like, yo, even though I wasn't intentionally listening to that song, I'd have heard that song 8 times today. So now it's in the back of my head, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Back to the promotion. So even when you're intentionally not a consumer, you still consuming, you still digesting it at some point.
Mhm. Hey, G, what you think? G, what's your thoughts, man?
As far as I see what y'all saying, and is I would say it's right that we may not need to cancel it, but for the reasons y'all are saying, I don't totally agree with it. Um, I think it's because, like I said, I think most people, the reason why they're if people, I believe if people don't like it, then it wouldn't be so mainstream.
I don't
I
believe
think people
that.
don't. I think most people just don't have enough. I think we lack a lot of character and morals because we only like what we buy. We only like what we listen to. So if we listen and watch something or do something, that means that most people must like it. If the more cautious rapper, which is there are some, like I said, the Rap Cities. I kind of like. Of course, I like Kendrick and J. Cole. They try to push the narrative to try to bring more positivity, and I love that. And I wish there was a lot more out there,
But
but
there are
it
though.
just like I'm
There
sorry.
there are a lot more
Yeah, there
too.
are there are some. There's probably even a lot more. But I believe that people spend money because I've always been in customer service, and people come and they buy things because they like it. That's just how it is. They came to where I was because they liked it. The big people go to McDonald's. People go to different places because they like the place. So we live in a world where information is everywhere. You can find artists anywhere. You can find anything. Not like back in the old days where it'd be hard to find somebody because you couldn't find that CD or you
Mhm.
couldn't. But
Yeah,
everybody has a camera and
yeah.
everybody can find what they want to find on this device right here. We can Google everything. We can find anything. And for some reason, I know the reason, but I would say for some reason the ones that talk about the stuff that he's talking about in on that video, people buy it. That's why they're platinum artists. They sell out arenas. It costs money. I've seen tickets for these. I've never been to a concert like that. Tickets are $200, $300, $400, $1,000. It gets crazy. I don't know how they. I would never pay for that for a concert. But for some reason, just because they don't buy it, they don't buy it because they just don't like the code. They don't like the song. They don't like the music. They don't like the words. They buy it because they like the words. They buy it because they like the artist and they like what they're saying. So that's why they have so much money, and then they're selling out arenas. So I think, like I've said before, I think black people, they just like that. That's what they like. They like killing. They like listening to that stuff. They like all the negative stuff in the music. That's why they buy it. I mean, you're not gonna get me to get around that because it just doesn't make no sense. Nobody would buy it unless they don't like it. So I know that if they like positive stuff, they'd be buying. They'd be trying to find the positive rapper. They'd be trying to find the person that's like this, and they would listen to that and be like, I don't want to listen to that stuff. No, they just put it on and they like it.
Hey, I want to say something.
You're not gonna get me to get out of that.
Let me say something. Let me say something real quick, Trey. Those big rappers and stuff that you talk about, I want you to look at the crowds that go and buy the music and buy the tickets, and look out there, and you can't tell me it's not gonna be more white people than black people out there. You know what I'm saying? It's more white people that consume.
I'm trying to understand. Y'all keep saying that. What is that? What are you trying to prove when you said? I'm trying to figure out what is that.
But you said black people. You said black people like that. You said black people like those things, and I'm trying to say I don't think it's a black thing. I think it go back to the society because the people that's purchasing most of that stuff.
Even if you were right, what does that? I'm trying to figure out what does that prove. That means
I'm going after the point.
The one that's saying it, he's black. So do you have any fault on him? Do you care about him saying that stuff?
No. I'm just going to the point where you said you think black people like that stuff. That's what you said. So I'm saying no. I don't think it's a black people thing. You know what I'm saying? I think. Because for real, we could talk this same argument. You could translate the movies. Why don't we ban movies? And they do more. You could actually see the killings and stuff on that. So it's what they trying to. It's what whoever the powers that be that run these companies, they promote that stuff because they feel like that's what people gonna like. That's what they feel like will sell the most. Not necessarily. It's not. I don't view it as a black thing. I don't think it's a black thing. I think that's an issue in our community. But when you think about the music, man, yesterday I went to CVS and there was some white girl bumping Finesse 2 times, like just singing her whole heart out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not. I don't think that's a black issue. It just get pushed on us because it's black people that's doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then they try to stereotype it. Like that's what we are, or that's what we want. When it's really, I feel like, and what I've seen, when people go show these concerts and these big arenas and stuff, the people that's buying those tickets to the big arenas, not black people. That's white people that's buying and supporting on that level. So I would just go into that point of you feel like that's something black people like. I don't agree with that. I feel like that's an issue in our community, but it's not just a black thing. That's the people that's supporting that.
When you say at concerts, is that like something you saw like on a picture, or do you think that is more white people than black people, or it's like
from what I've seen in videos?
Oh, videos, okay.
Yeah, but I've been to the concerts, okay, and I could tell you firsthand. That it's usually and trap concerts is usually more white people in the crowd than it is black. Like I've been to these things, man. It's more supported all around, but just because it gets supported and it's a black person, we take black accountability. Or why does black people like that? It's not just black. You know what I mean?
I'm saying, are we supposed to be? Are like you said, we're kings and queens. Should we act like them?
But this what I'm gonna rebut with that, right? For one, it's marketing. You don't have to like something to purchase, because with marketing, it's repetition.
I don't buy stuff that I don't like. Y'all might. I don't.
Hold on. Because regular people do this. Because after seeing something it says 3 to 7 times. After seeing something 3 to 7 times, it gets a person to move on it. Repetition.
That's sales tactics, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Repetition holds the stronghold. So after 3 to 7 times, even though I don't eat fast food that much, when Popeyes and Chick-fil-A was having this competition of who got the best chicken sandwich, after seeing this repeatedly 10 times a day without looking for it, I was like compelled to like, let me try it out then. And then you go to the store and it's a line around the building all the way to the street. It gotta be something, right? And then you're compelled, you're continuously compelled and roped in. That's good marketing.
That sounds like a
That's
weak
the
mind to me.
But that's promotion. It's not a weak
Oh, and
mind.
real
That's a
quick,
very
hey,
weak
G,
mind.
so you never heard a song, you didn't like it at first, but then over time you end up liking it?
Yeah, of course. A song.
Right, that's promotion.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you weren't actively looking for that song. But what happened is you kept hearing it over and over again, and then it started to sound a little catchy. And that's how I feel like with that type of music, especially in particular, the 808s, I really feel like it's more so the instrumentals that get people. Now it's really about the beats for real. You know what I'm saying? If you got a good beat and you just got some type of rhythm on the beat, people is gravitating towards that now. And I think that whereas before with hip hop and rap, the beat was very influential, but you had to be saying something over it. And I've been trying to figure out, and shout out to this guy, but I feel like it's right around Soulja Boy time is when the shift started. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to put it on Soulja Boy because I like Soulja Boy. You know what I'm saying? I was you and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it was a shift in the music where it became less about lyrical content and more about catchiness and beat. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's been a slow progression of changing our ears. Cause me now, I can't really listen to the music nowadays. To be for real with you, you know, like the music today don't really hit me like it did like 5 to 7 years ago. And because it doesn't hit, I don't really listen to the radio like that. You know what I'm saying? It don't have the messages that correlate with me and everything like that. But I hear the beats and stuff so much, I got used to the beats though. You know what I'm saying? Like our ear is something very special, and that's what the best producers know how to do. The best producers know how to make a hit. They can put anybody on any song, and they know how to make it a hit because they understand the people's ear and they understand what people like to hear. And when you know how to do that, you can put whatever message you really want to, and some people is going to start gravitating towards that and build a fan base off of that.
And that's good marketing.
So
it's not being weak-minded.
It is weak-minded.
It's not being weak-minded. It's human.
Very weak-minded.
It's very human.
It's very weak-minded.
It's very human.
I told you I'm super. Like I am like a superhero.
You can stand there and act as if you haven't been persuaded by
I'm
anything.
When my fallen state I was, when I had no morals, I was like that. I had no morals at one point. I got morals now.
Act as if you're not persuaded by things that
I did. No, I did. When I didn't have no morals, you're right. I did. I'm agreeing. I did. When I didn't have no morals, I wore like that. I listened to all. I was like wilding. Like I used to sing every word. Like it was wilding. I was like that. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think everybody. I think I was there just like anybody else. I listened to bad stuff. I did some wild stuff, and so I had to wake up and see what was going on around me.
But
that's when I had to wake up.
So you don't listen to no wild music now?
Not the wild ones no more. I can't. Like you said, like with the music now, like you said, like music. I like it is nowhere near like how it's just weird. It's like a lot of weird stuff. Maybe I'm getting old too. Maybe that's a mixture of it. I'm getting old.
Yeah, we the old heads now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's weird. It's like I'm like, what is he saying?
Rap. It's different. Like, all right, so that's a category of rap. Like, that's not all encompassing hip hop. That's not all rap. That's just something that you don't like. So you can say you deliberately don't listen to mumble rap or something like that. But to say like the whole genre of rap in itself is bad for black, I don't see that.
No, I wouldn't say the whole genre. I still like. I said I like the Coles. I like Lamar. I only heard Rhapsody once. I need to listen to more.
Rhapsody is dope.
Yeah, you'll learn something.
But I was just looking at the comments, and our Mr. West, he had a good point. The top
Which
selling
one?
artists is Drake, Eminem, Kendrick, Juice WRLD. The top selling artists really don't promote that
This one.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only so far you can really push those people to be for
Right.
real. Because
It don't last, man.
the danger with promoting that type of person. And what I mean by the danger is if you promote the super gangsters gonna want to try to touch them. Think about like that's why I like the Pop Smokes and all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to all of them and things
Yeah.
like that. But you know, that's why they end up becoming fallen soldiers because of the image that they portray. And you know, whatever you put out in the world, a lot of times that's what you get back, unfortunately. And
Mhm.
so that's why a lot of companies they can be hot for a second, but for the most part, people want to hear about, you know, like love or women or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you think about like the some of the Drake songs I think about now. Like I said, I don't listen to music as much now. Just hold on, we going home. That song blew up. That song blew up. What's the other Drake? Like Drake got all those
Soft.
Hotline Bling and stuff like that. Like that's the stuff people really do want to
Connect to.
really connect with. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'll be right back, y'all. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll be right back.
And like when it comes to this, man, like it is what you focus on, what you put your attention to. But look at you, bro. We can't. This is what I want to say is we can't disown the ones who don't do or think or move like we do because they're still part of us. You know what I mean? So I can't say because you listen to this music or how you react to this music that you're just flat out wrong and you're not like you're making black people look horrible. I'm not going to put that stereotype on them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to them. Do you understand why you feel the way you feel behind this music? Do you understand that this beat, the 808s, what it does, that type of bass, literally sound is vibration. Vibration is frequency. Those types of frequencies are low toned is a low frequency. It brings your vibe down. That's why when you listen to, I remember like even with Kanye and Jay-Z when they dropped Watch the Throne, but what song did they promote for Watch the Throne? Ham. And everybody had to jump on that instrumental made by Lex Luger, a VA producer. Shout out to him. But that 808 signals something subconsciously for it triggers aggression. It triggers lower feelings. You know what I'm saying? And that's science. Like you can look it up for yourself. Those frequencies literally bring you down. And if that's all that you're listening to, even if it's a conscious rapper over 808s, because I listen to like Wiz Khalifa and stuff, he ain't talking about shooting nobody. Most of the time he's talking about smoking. I don't even smoke.
All the time.
But I remember when he dropped that Taylor Gang joint, and the whole thing was produced by Lex Luger. Again, shout out to Lex. The whole thing was produced by him, and at the time it was all about the 808s. So even when I'm listening to him, a more so conscious rapper who's not talking, even though it's Taylor Gang, he's not talking about like gang culture. He's just talking about family. And that's what another thing, like the titles still have a negativity, but keeping on this point, keeping on this track right here, it's we don't understand what the music actually does to us. So if we have those of us who has this understanding need to be the ones who are making the change, actively making the change. So I can't blame those who don't know that, because who's going to search what does 808, why does 808s make me feel such and such? Who's going to search that? That's not searchable. You know what I mean? So that's not something that's going to be outright outspoken. But me knowing that and looking at you to where you are, you know what I'm saying? You said you were there. You can't discredit your experiences because it took you years of experience to get to where you are, the enlightenment that you have. So I can't say that black people are just wrong for this type of music.
No,
Uh,
I mean, I, I believe when you say that, I think you take it from the perspective that I'm just going down. I don't have a problem with people learning and doing what they need to do. My problem is for some reason when you point out something wrong, especially when it comes to black people, you never start off. The first thing you'll say is an excuse and saying instead of saying, "Yeah, we're wrong, but we need to do better than this." I've never heard say it's rare for anybody to say that you just did it wrong. It's wrong. Let's change it. No, the reason why they do this. Oh, white people do it too. Oh, this is this. It's because of this. It's because of this. Instead of being like you're wrong. Let's figure out a way to change it. I never hear that. I never hear it's wrong. Let's change it. No, it's wrong. Let's just keep doing it because it's just how it is. There's no changing. There's no changing.
I think they do. I think they do. I know they do, but you're not hearing it. It's because they don't flat out say it's wrong. Let's change it. You know, because they don't just flat out say that, then it's like you're not hearing me. And I don't think it's that. And they might be. I mean, most of the time you tell somebody they're wrong, they don't think they're wrong, then they can be defensive about it. You know what I'm saying? So just telling somebody that they're wrong doesn't spark a change. It doesn't make people want to do better. Like it doesn't show. And it could be planting the seed, but what type of seed are you planting? You know what I'm saying? Is it a weed or is it a fruit? So I see it more so like, okay, connectivity. You spoke on it before we came on the live. People are more willing to listen to someone who they connect to, right? If you can,
I don't understand all this. This wasn't. I don't believe, even though I wasn't there, I don't believe it was always like this. Why all of a sudden we need so much catering and so much around the box instead of just having morals and standards, just saying this is wrong. I don't understand how all of a sudden it wasn't. I guarantee it wasn't like this hundreds of years ago. I don't think it would just. They just say it was wrong and then they stopped doing it. I don't understand why now we have to. Oh, they got to do it this way. They don't take it this way. Oh,
because it's a group of people. Not everybody believe and act the same way though. It won't never that easy because whenever you're dealing with a bunch of people,
you're saying hundreds of years has always been this counselor that said that did this.
No,
bring up the other people, bro.
No, what I'm saying is, it's always been people that want to do this thing, and it's people that want to do the opposite. It's always been like that. So, and that's with any culture. Nobody ever see everything eye to eye, and it's never been a culture that everybody agree. It's only one way to do something. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the conversation comes in.
That's right. It has nothing to do with agreeing. It has nothing to do with agreements. It has nothing to do with it.
If you see that it's wrong and somebody else does it, then you're in disagreement.
Exactly. Some people don't think that gang culture is wrong. Some people don't think that. Now what comes into play is the education part now. There's some people there's some white people that's in the Ku Klux Klan and they don't think that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got they differences or whatever. The thing is about educating and trying to show people a better way instead of just saying, "Oh, you wrong, you this and you that." Well, then show me a better way. Then show me what to do instead of just telling me what not to do. You got to show people. You can't just tell people don't do something, but then you're not giving them no better option though, or you're not telling them or giving them the resources or tools to improve themselves. Like, okay, I'm not doing right. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where the conversation come in at. And then what you could do is you could say, yo, like I used to listen to hip hop music, but you know, I realized, yo, this is what it was doing. These are the bad decisions that I was making based off of it. Or this is the thing I learned about it. Now I don't really listen to it because I don't vibe with the messaging. I'm more along this line. And since I've been on this line, I've been more successful. You know what I'm saying? Better relationships. I don't have intrusive thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about saying somebody wrong, because yeah, all right, you wrong. Now what? So what? They wrong. But if you be like, yo, that's wrong, but let's talk about what we could do to be better. Or it's wrong, but here's a different way to do something. I think that's the part where when sometimes when we have dialogues, if we not giving people the other side of the coin instead of saying you wrong, you wrong, you wrong, that's where I think the disconnect come in at.
So we had a comment that says, "What is the black standard?" That's a whole nother topic, by the way. But what is the black standard? Because what are you seeing that's wrong? Because I know a lot of people need that energy. Like you could listen to, you know, that type of. You can listen. I've definitely been one who listens to trap music before I speak, before I do a live presentation, before I, go into an interview, and it gets me pumped up, and I kill it. You know what I'm saying? I kill the interview. I kill the speaking. I kill, the pop up, the event. So it's energy. You know what I mean? So I can't say that it's wrong to consume this type of music. It's what you do with it. You know what I mean? Like I think what you're doing is wrong. I think, being falsely misled to only do what's being said instead of being able to transfer the energy into productivity is wrong. I think that's wrong when you just like, oh, he got a gun or saying something about gun. Because we even listen to like Future, and we was listening to Future for years talk about lean, and then he came out and was like, I don't even drink lean. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to do, and it takes mental gymnastics. It takes a super, like you said yourself is. It takes a super person like you to let me pay more attention to who this person is, who's feeding me this message. You know what I'm saying? It could be somebody who giving you all types of positivity, and they could be, a completely. How am I getting phone calls?
You still getting calls.
Well, I guess I'll jump in. All right, but G, I want you to know, like, I agree with you. We need to work on our messaging. So I do agree with that. But my point is, that's the mainstream, because it's people like, what's my man? Oh man, it's a dude out in California. I can't remember. I'm mad I forgot his name, but he's independent and he got a crazy following. And he probably make more money than these rappers and stuff like that. And he's talking positivity, he's talking business. And his promotion game is top notch. You know what I'm saying? So it's just he didn't want to go the mainstream route because he didn't want to have to compromise. And he didn't want to be under somebody's thumb and have them have creative say over what he did. So he went his own route, and now I think he had like 1 million followers. He doing really good for himself. And so it's people out here that do got a positive message and that are popular. We just don't see it on the radio, or we just don't, you know what I'm saying, necessarily see it on like YouTube or whatever. But that don't mean it ain't hundreds of thousands of people watching them, and they ain't got like sellout shows. Tech Nine, for example, he one of the best-selling artists, and he ain't never had no major deal, but he got millions and millions of followers, make millions of dollars every single year. And so it's one thing what they show us, but it's another thing behind the scenes that's really the real what's going on out here. And that's the part we gotta focus on. And that's where, like you said, G, your discipline come into place at. Because that's why I agree with you. I don't listen to the radio because I get tired of hearing all of that all the time. Mm-hmm. But I also aware enough to see that's not all that's out here. Because with my Instagram, like we had talked about with the social media thing, La Russell, yeah, that's it. La Russell. West know La Russell. That dude's a beast, y'all. Shout out to La Russell. But we talked about on the social media thing, where I told you, like, I did a detox of my social media to get rid of all the IG models and all the negative stuff up on there, because I only want to see the positivity. I want to see the things that encourage me, that motivate me, and the people that's winning the way that I want to see winning, and that's doing it on a high level. And so that's why, like, when I seen LaRussell and his movement, man, I followed that, and he been doing this thing and killing it. And so I just want to make sure the people, yeah, they show us, you know, that type of culture, that type of lifestyle, about the shoot 'em up and the sip and lean and things like that. But I want people to know, like, yo, like, just because that's what they show us, that don't mean that's the majority. And also, like I am Mr. West said, that's also not the best selling things too, because that's not at the end of the day what people really want to gravitate to. That's temporary moment music. But then you got timeless music. You know what I'm saying? And you can't beat timeless music. And so that's why I wanted to say along that line.
All right, so I want one more question before we close it out. G, is what is the wrong aspect? What do you see that's just wrong? Because I haven't heard you like go into detail about what's wrong.
What do you mean? What's wrong? I'm sorry.
You said you don't. Why do we not like when somebody just say that you're wrong, you're in the wrong, you're wrong about it, just it's always been like a general flat out you're wrong, and then it's like, oh no, but it's we blame on other people, other cultures, or divert their attention. What do you see? What are you trying to say that's wrong?
I mean, after a while, it kind of gets old. Ain't no point in me keep going, saying it. I mean, there's no. Everybody see things in a different light. That's why I be saying maybe I'm just maybe really different, and it's hard. I haven't really found a lot of maybe different guys that see things the same way that I see it. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's neither or. But where if I see something that's just wrong, I just don't do it. If I see it's wrong, I just say don't do it, and I can actually just stop it there. And maybe that's my personality, or maybe because the things that's happened throughout my life. Because I know life, shapes you. And maybe with my situation, maybe with my condition or how I was brought up. Everybody's brought up different, so it's not like really a frustration thing, or maybe like a maybe I get fed up, or maybe it's something wrong with me, or maybe I see things a certain way. It could be a mixture of different things on why I think this way and I see things.
Here's what I think.
Go ahead.
Here's what I think. I think that you think fast. Most of us have had a similar upbringing. We all have had similar experiences, at least enough to be able to relate to one another, especially as Black men. If that's the main target, that's the main target that we have as Black men. So when you see something, in your opinion, that's wrong, I think you just think fast, and it just went through. This could happen. This could happen. This could happen. This could happen as a result, and you just going back to the initial thing, and you just be like, "That's wrong." But the other person who is wrong in your eyes can't see or can't think at the same frame of mind, what's wrong in the situation. So I would encourage you to try to not to explain what's wrong, but to at least try to like get your thinking across, because that's where the connectivity is. That's why I continuously push communication, because as we stated before, just telling somebody they're wrong or they're in the wrong, especially guy to guy, we become competitive and defensive. And I'm gonna keep on. I haven't been disproven this yet, but our primary emotion is anger. So even though we want to learn why, it'll be like, what the hell you mean I'm wrong? You know what I'm saying? And I know you're not like, you're not going to fight. You're not going to you're not with the confrontation. So more than likely, you'll keep it to yourself, but you'll see it and be like, "That's wrong." And if you see it again, you be like, "Dang, that's wrong." And then you see it again after you've seen it so many times. Why do black people do this? And it's like, well, at some point you gotta
She said, "Well."
step in. At some point you got to step in to try to like what's the wrong aspect and how can we divert it. Touching on what Paul was saying, it's like, what's if I'm wrong, then what's right then? You know what I'm saying? Show me right from wrong. Initially, show me right from wrong. Show it to me. Like, what is it that's wrong? You know, show me. Got the comments. I think unpacking what is black culture, or if we really have one, would be a good topic to discuss. Yes. Black Culture is Trash, Part 4, featuring Mr. West.
Yeah, with Mr. West.
You know what I
Damn,
mean?
we on part 4 now. Dang.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
And
What the world? What's G doing?
I had to change my battery on my joint. I'm trying to get it straight.
Yeah,
I finally bought new batteries, man. Now it's not gonna cut off. We good money now.
There we go. Mr. West says, I personally do not believe we have a real culture. We have found ways to traditionalize our trauma or ignorance, which is why we do not have control over the images pushed on us. All right, Black Culture, this Trash Part 4 is really coming.
Yeah. Be on the lookout for the call, Mr. West. We gotta get you on for that.
True.
But look, hey, do y'all want to continue on with this topic, or do we got another video, G?
Let's get to the last one. Ain't gonna be too long, but it's something another one I want to get to, and this goes back to us getting our health together and getting our men together, man. We got to do better. I'm leaning first at the beginning of these podcasts. I was drilling a lot on the women, like not physically, but mentally, dreaming on, you know.
Silly. It's silly, bro.
Make sure you make that disclaimer, huh, G?
Yeah, disclaimer, because I know how the feminists will come around. You ain't drilling me. You ain't. Nah, I'm not like that, man. Listen, I'm mentally. I was really dogging the women a lot. So now we going hard on the men right now. Pause. We're gonna talk about them. We really gonna make sure that we get our mental together, because I'm realizing, which I already know, a lot of the problems is because our health is not together, and it does a lot more than what you think when you don't have your health together and you're doing certain things in your life, men, and your life's not going the way you want to, and it dumbs down a lot to your health. So this one is going to be real good for us to really unlock and really talk and break down the reasons why I think men are not flourishing. And it starts, I think, number one is with our health.
Important story in the economy today. Testosterone levels plummeting in young men due to porn consumption as linked to social isolation shows real problem. The Sun, young men's social isolation and retreat from society are linked to changing norms and discomfort with redefined masculinity. However, studies indicate that plummeting testosterone levels in young men, possibly influenced by excessive porn consumption, may also contribute to their desire to separate from society. Testosterone levels play a crucial role beyond sexual desire, impacting body and facial hair, muscle mass, bone density, fertility, mood, and social anxiety. Excessive consumption of pornography is associated with low reproductive hormone levels in men, which can contribute in reduced testosterone levels and potential social isolation. Natural way to boost testosterone level include improving sleep quality, getting sunlight exposure, and taking vitamin D supplements, consuming omega-3 fish fatty acids, and engaging in strength training exercises. Last night, I had a great time with these guys at Fresh and Fit with Myron. You guys are freaking amazing at what you do.
Thanks for
Myron,
coming.
what do you think about this story? Masturbation, porn, testosterone level. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. And I was actually just writing some notes as you were speaking about it. I would say there's a couple of things that are contributing to this. One is women are more successful now than ever before. So a lot of guys feel like they can't compete or they can't measure up. You got, an influx of pornography that's huge. You can get it for free anywhere, anytime on your phone at the, drop of a hat. Video games, right, become more and more immersive, more and more interactive. They've grown in popularity significantly. It's probably one of the most popular ways of entertainment nowadays. They're beating out movies and television. Then you got obesity, right? Being fat is fairly acceptable in the West nowadays. It's okay to be fat. You also have guys in general that are just lazy thanks to the technology and everything else that we have nowadays. People aren't as social. Guys don't feel the need to get out there and get to know women anymore. A lot of guys are socially awkward. This is through the rise of social media, dating apps, etc. There's a lot of guys that have issues, right, where they're good-looking guys and they're able to garner attention from women, but they don't know how to speak or convey themselves properly because they don't have the adequate social skills where they've been speaking to people for a good amount of time and learning, certain social cues, how to speak properly, cadence, speaking from an active voice versus a passive voice when speaking to women, because women typically respond very favorably to the active voice versus the passive voice. So all these little things, right, might seem like small little insulated incidents, but if you add them all together, it snowballs and creates kind of what we have, like what they call it the Lost Bar generation. So in general, all of these things play into, and there's more too, but those are just some of the ones I could think off the top of my head.
Tom, from your very insightful, by the way.
All right. So, despite I don't want nobody to dip into the messenger, because I don't really I found that the first guy, I think he's from a show called PB and something podcast. Shout out to them. Seem like a good podcast. They talk about a lot of issues and stuff like that in the world, and that this had popped up in there because I have a lot of health stuff on there. And Fresh and Fit, 50-50 on them. Shout out to them, whatever. I see they men, they do their thing. I'm all for men making money, whatever. We ain't gonna get into their issues. My main thing is as far as going to the message. Is testosterone? Why do you think testosterone is so low nowadays with the men, and what do you think it does to our productivity when we want to fulfill our purpose in being men nowadays?
Well, first of all, I think not to divert from the question, but the first guy that was speaking, he was one of the trainees of the author from that book the first book I gave you, Relentless, that you related to.
Yeah.
So I know that you'll rock with him just off of the vibe, you know what I mean? Shout out Tim Grover, who is one of those men. So the second thing, before I make my agreements, the one thing I disagree with was the video games. What the hell video games had to do with so you went from talking about porn to a video game and then obesity. Like video games ain't got nothing to do with it.
I think what he says, I think video games I think there's nothing wrong with video games. I haven't got back into it, but I love, man. I'm gonna get back into video games. I think it's the part where I guess I would think he's saying maybe we overdo it, meaning instead of just like going to work and just that's all you do is work in video games and don't go out and don't do nothing. I think that's on the aspect, but I don't think nothing wrong with you. If you had a long day, you didn't work out, you didn't do anything, and then play video games for a couple hours. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you get everything else done. But I think he's meaning the people that just don't have no life and that's all he do. That's
what I think he's talking about too.
Yeah, I think it is. But there ain't nothing wrong with video games. I love Madden. I can't wait till I get a PS5. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Ain't it?
I promise you.
So the rest of the stuff, man, absolutely. It depletes your moxie. Like you said, it creates brain fog. So you wind up in this super down mentality and you don't even know why. And going back, our primary emotion is anger. So now you're ready to lash out. Anybody tell you to do something right from wrong, you can't accept it, you're arguing, you're argumentative now. All of these things do have a take on it. And it's funny that it comes from your balls.
Ball sack.
It's funny that it comes from, that area. That area has so much control. You have two heads that you have to be in control of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when one clear, the other one is. When one is in fog, the other one is too. So keep your blood circulating.
You know how to make a joke out of something that's supposed to be serious, man. You're supposed to be letting them know.
Y'all remember the last time we talked about this? I was talking about it shooting in the ceiling and everything.
Yeah, see? That man crazy, man.
No, but I agree with pretty much majority of what he was saying in regards to like the low testosterone. And I mean, we talked about it before, man. Like that semen retention, it's a real thing. It's a real thing from my experience with it, far as hair growth, skin looking better, you feeling better, more energy, more it's like a natural confidence that comes from a lot of that. And I also know from me being younger, and when hey, we keep it real on the podcast, boy. Hey, I had the DVDs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you had the burnt DVDs.
They won't burn. I purchased them. The gas stations used to have them. The gas station used to have them in the back and everything. You were like, yo, hey, let me get that one. The one she bent over, and then that other one. You know what I'm saying? So, but also back then, like you said, you had the internet was coming along, but a lot of times you had to get the DVDs and stuff like that. It was a little bit more of a process. Like Wes was talking about convenience. It's so easy to get a hold of this information, whether it be from the porn websites. You got OnlyFans now, where people making money off of selling that type of stuff and promoting that and everything like that, man. It's just so prevalent. It's so prevalent. So you make the visualization of it more accessible, and you make it harder for people to communicate more. Then it's gonna be a rise in, like if you want to just whack it out real quick, you can whack it out real quick. You don't gotta call up a girl, call up 5-10 girls or whatever, and be like, dang, which one gonna let me get? You know what I'm saying? You could just cut on your computer, get right to it, boom, be done, take your nap, sleep well at night. But it's a side effect of it, and that side effect is you become disassociated from my view, and just from my experience as well. You become disassociated with reality. You get disassociated with going out here and talking to women and understanding, like I think his name Myron. What Myron was talking about, far as I know, that was wild, but but you get disassociated with like how to communicate with women because you get so caught up in your own bubble. And with being caught in your own bubble, also the other part about porn is you think a lot of stuff people do on porns, that's what every woman want to do. And that's not always the case too. And that's the other part where you just, because you see something that's supposed to be promoted and become enticing to your eye, you think that's the normal way to do it. And I think that's the other part. We lose touch of that, the intimacy. The intimacy get lost in it. And it just straight physical attraction, immediate gratification, and things like that. And you get wrapped up into that, where it go back to our initial conversation, the first podcast. You can't take rejection now because you're so used to immediate gratification. So like you said, G, or like Myra said, like a lot of that stuff really roll into one and create a issue that we starting to have now in society.
There we go.
Yeah, what you got, G?
We not only that, but
go ahead.
Because Paul is gonna talk over me. Not only that, but we over sexualized, man.
Mm-hmm.
How could I word it? I think we should communicate proper sexual. I think we should have more sexual communication with the younger men who are now, entering the realm of uh, sexual intimacy, sexual connected, but it's entering the age where they can potentially have sex. I think we should have more communication with them, man and woman, talking to these young adolescents who are ready to experiment with this thing. It's a great thing. We've lost. I think we're over sexualized.
Very.
What I mean by that is like everything is sexualized. Like say for instance, like I was just at an event, right? And they had a cheerleading team, and there was no age group in this cheerleading team. So you had single digits all the way up to 20-year-olds who was in this cheerleader team, and they like went in waves and stuff. Like it was obvious to tell which group was what, but I could still pinpoint. Like some guys would be like, like, oh, she gonna be thick when she get older, or she already right and stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
weird. That's so
It's
weird.
it's cringe, you know what I'm saying? It's cringe, and I'm like, bro, you looking at a child for potential sex, you know what I'm saying, as a potential sexual instrument. And I think that's where yeah, too many taboo convos. I think that's where we gotta step in as men. Like yo, like don't sexualize the children, and that goes back to our previous conversation in the about the Adidas and Bud Light and Target stock too. Is that the issue isn't with you choosing to live the way that you want, your sexual orientation. You're an adult. You have freedom of will to choose, what you're interested in. Cool. But when you're putting it on children's and infant clothing and stuff like that, like what are you saying to the kids? Like why do the kids have to be involved with your debate? I think we're just over sexualized as humans, and it's everywhere. I want to say like, oh, the other countries don't have it, but yes, they do. You look at any anime, if you was to actually look at the anime,
Yo,
you
anime kind of wild, yo.
anime wild, bro. If you actually look at the anime, most of the anime characters be in like high school and stuff, and they be showing little flirtatious scenes where they grabbing and touching and stuff, and it's like, yo, like this a kid 14. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say it's just this country. It's all over the globe. We're overly sexualized. I think that's a bigger problem. If we didn't harbor so much on sex, then we wouldn't see everything as sexual. I had a guy, and this might drive the conversation askew, but I had a guy ask me, would I be comfortable? Say, for instance, the cable guy came to the house, and it's just my woman here, and she let him in, but she's still in her house clothing. You know what I'm saying? T-shirt and underwear. And would I be comfortable with that? Like, say, for instance, like he just walked in the door, and I'm walking in the door behind him, and I see her. It's like, why you ain't just go put some clothes on? Like,
Yeah.
me, since I'm desensitized to sex and I know my partner, I would know that she's just was opening the door. Maybe she thought it was me because more than likely I communicated that I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking these things into consideration. But then I'm like, if I was to go to a homegirl's house, not saying that this is all hypothetical, but if I was to go to a homegirl's house and she felt comfortable with me and she was like in some cheeky shorts or something, I honestly think that she's in her own domain. She should be comfortable. I shouldn't be pressured to think that, oh, she wants sex. Like, no, she had that on before I even, what if I just popped up? You know what I'm saying? Like, she had that on before. So what do y'all think on that part? Like, do you think we should have more control over our sexual eye, or do you think we should push the narrative on other people to not be sexual?
I think we should push the narrative on other people to not be sexual, but I realize the society that we in and the way things are. So like it's just because even when you think of that scenario, like my mom be like, yo, like why? And it's crazy because my mom be like, oh, she ain't covered up. Oh, she must want something. You know what I'm saying? But that also, hey, look, but that's also like you said, it's her house too, and she just want to be comfortable. And why should she have to change her clothes just because you over here? So
Yeah.
to me, that's like a nuanced thing. I think we should push to the not be sexual, not over sexualize everything, but
Mm.
also like G like to say too, is we also dealing with reality as well too. You know what I'm saying? So that's a nuanced thing. Because I know like I said, when you was bringing up that scenario, and I'm thinking about it, like if I went over some woman house
Hmm.
and she you know what I'm saying, cheeks is out and stuff like that, I'll be like, yo, hey,
What
I'll be looking just like G. Yo, what's going on under there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So but I get the point that you're saying though, Trey, because she is at home. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Like if I'm just chilling in some shorts and boxers or whatever, and a girl come over and I got my shirt and stuff off, should I have to put my shirt and everything on? Because this is my house. This is what I'm comfortable in. So it depends on the person and what you comfortable with. I feel like.
But that goes with sexual control. So like for me, I'm the same way because even my family members had to learn, like, don't just pop up at my house. You don't know what's going on in here. Give me notice. And I've been ass naked before, and I'm gonna answer the door. It's my house. Like, hey, you on the phone, you should have let me know that you was coming. You know what I'm saying? If there's no forewarning, I don't have nothing to get ready for. So what you get is what you get. What you think, G? Should we have more of a? Should we have
Make
more?
sure I call before I come over, Trey.
You know what I mean?
I mean, no, I think y'all making real good points. I mean, it's all true, 100%. I think it even goes down deeper than that because people will say that I'm even a conspiracy theorist. I mean, call me what you want, but I even go back further. I explained before where I think for America or the world to work, you need to have somebody or an entity or a group to be stronger so they can be able to control the other people. That's their goal. I think that's their goal that they're going for. So in my mind of thinking is if you have a group of males, like a lot of males that actually take care of their stuff and they're healthy, their mind is straight, their testosterone is high. That testosterone is what gives us that urge. It gives us that vitality, that I'm talking about, that aggressive. They give us that power. It wakes us up in the morning, gives us energy. It gives us so much life form because people don't understand. Women have the oven, but we have the seed. We have the energy. We have all of it, the life that goes into them. So it's life inside of us when it comes to that testosterone. So the way to make men more docile and make them more agreeable and make them more low vibration, maybe you would say, is to do whatever they can to dial you down, put you in a classroom, put you in a house, maybe to look at girls and you get rid of your sperm. You be able to not be healthy. You got to knock it down. And at the end of the day, you don't want to do much. You don't want to conquer nothing. You don't want to say no to stuff. You don't want to fight back. You don't want to do much. And it just trickles down to make you just not want to do anything. I think that's the reason why. There's no way in my mind the government don't know that they know all the essentials to keep us healthy. But for some reason, they push the unhealthy stuff to make us down and down. There's no convenience that for some reason why we can't get free food or free education on TV, but you can have free ass on TV all day, every day. I mean, is that after a while you have to put stuff together and be like, there
Mm.
got to be a ploy, man. It got to be something.
You
So
know
if
it. That's
you,
why porn's free
yeah,
for the most.
it's a game. It's a warfare.
I,
It's what it is. They're not
I,
saying it, but that's what they're doing.
I think, and this, and I'm about to get ready to go into the financial round real quick because I want to take this to
Yeah,
the financial round. Just real quick, and not financial advice, disclosure, no financial advice, nothing like that. The government don't want you to do stuff until they figure out how to capitalize on
Capitalize
it.
on it.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like porn was taboo, and that wasn't an industry that that was under the radar. Now is mainstream. These are some of our biggest celebrities now that it did flicks and all of that type of stuff. The government figured out how to capitalize on it. The marijuana,
Yep.
they figured they locked people up for it, but then all of a sudden they realized, oh, we can't get rid of it. Let's capitalize on it now.
Yep.
And this is just my belief. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the same thing is happening with cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Like the government is, crypto, not this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Till they figure out how to capitalize on it, then it's going to be regulated, and then boom, everybody. It's going to be widespread for everybody. The government, like you said, the government just want to figure out how to benefit from
yeah,
whatever is going on. And like you said, when it comes to lowering our testosterone, less babies, so they don't got to give out as much in government assistance and things like
true.
that. That means less will to not fight back. What's that prohibition? That's another one. Like you said, the will to not fight back, so less resistance, less critical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then unhealthiness, which leads to like the pharmaceuticals and more medicine.
Yeah.
It's a win across the board for them. So yeah, it's like you say, it's deeper than just what we talking about. But the end goal is how can the government is always figuring out, like, how can we get our hand in the pot so we can have control and we can make money from it. And that's what it is.
Because they know we can. People think that the government is just so strong, which they already got police and all that. But could you imagine, like, the majority of men standing up for one thing and being like, "No, y'all just wrong. We're not going to do it," and we just are. They couldn't win. There's
But ain't
nothing you couldn't do. What could you do? You couldn't do.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing. You can't kill all of us. You can't
Mhm.
imprison all of us. You can't beat all of us. So
Mhm.
what they got to do? We can't let that happen. Let's just make
Mhm.
them as weak as possible. Just keep busting nuts and not having no energy, and we're gonna keep them low. Y'all, for real, man. After you bust a nut, do you feel like going out to write a paper? Do
I'm
you feel
going to
like
sleep.
exactly?
going
So if you're doing
around.
multiple times all day, every single day, you don't feel like doing nothing.
That's some young boys, y'all. I can't do that no more.
Exactly, but
I
like you
got like
said,
about one.
with
I
the
got
semen
one good
retention,
one, maybe two.
exactly. With semen retention, don't you feel like just everything is clear? You feel like having
Oh
so
man,
many ideas. You got all this energy. You just can you imagine the majority of men being like that all day,
the
every day?
focus, bro.
Come
Like
on, man.
you
They know
locked
that.
in.
They know that.
Man,
They know that.
I
For some
can't stand.
reason, yeah. Come on.
I can't stand when I'm having a actual conversation with a guy and a attractive female, or she don't even got to be attractive. Walks by or something, and he rubbernecking. I'm like, bro, you're not even in the conversation no more. This is what I mean by desensitized to sex, sexualization. So I do think I always go back to awareness, self-awareness. I think more guys need to be aware, and us, what we're doing is bringing that awareness. We need to have more guys that's aware, and the younger they're aware, the better off it'll be. Cause there ain't nobody tell me about this. Everybody was telling me, all the guys were telling me, "Oh man, once you get it, you ain't gonna want to stop," and it just made it seem like this awesome thing, and it is. But then I wanted it in any which way or form or fashion I could get it. So you mean to tell me if I'm not getting it, in person, I could get it through other stimulation? I mean, I could get this by myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't see what's wrong with it, especially when everybody all of the men have promoted it to me that You know, this is an awesome thing. It's like I think I question why they call it a climax, huh? I question why they call it a climax, because it does. Like once you reach that peak, if you ever look at the climax of a story, the levels of a story, you usually go up, you get to the climax, and then you're going down. You know, usually it's a downward trajectory from the climax. So it's funny that they call it. They showing it to you right there. You know what I mean? When you and shout out, I'm gonna go back to Mr. West. Shout out to Mr. West because they had Minister Farrakhan speaking, and he spoke on real briefly. I don't think a lot of people caught it, but he spoke on mental masturbation. Dang, right? He spoke on mental masturbation. It wasn't nothing but like 4 lines out of a 2-hour presentation, and I don't think a lot of people caught it. I caught that though. I was like, I never really put that into conception or a thought, you know what I'm saying? But you just think about how often mentally stimulated the average guy is, you know what I mean? So then it becomes desensitized. So then it becomes normal to talk to another guy about the potential of a child looking attractive when they get older, because this is something that's constantly on your mind and on the next guy's mind. So it just becomes the norm. We got to be the ones who break that, so to say. We got to be the ones to say, yo, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? We got to be the ones to say, hey, don't sexualize something that's not sexual. You know, like it could cross into the areas of like breastfeeding and stuff, and it's like, yo, like that's not a sexual act, you know what I mean? But we can, I mean, you pull out
you can sexualize it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like us as men have to have these conversations with the youth, especially in the youth, but we had to have this conversation all across the board with the male human anyway, because you shouldn't put sex on everything. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't sexualize everything. Like,
yeah,
I understand that there's something, and then going back to having more control over your sexual eye, people are attracted to different stuff, you know, so what's sexy to one person could be a turn off to another, you know, so that's why you got to have the right discernment and right sexual eye on you, because who said just because them cheeks out, they look good? And like, it's been a lot of
yeah, not all cheeks look alike.
I don't want that, you know what I mean? Like, so even though you trying, even though you reaching, or even though you're comfortable.
Hey, look, hey, I want to be silly real quick. Yeah, look, hold up. Y'all see this? No, I'm not gonna body, because they don't call me off for body shaming. Never mind. Nope, I ain't going for it. Nope. Go ahead, continue on.
No, but that's all I got on it, man. That's all I got on it. I ain't want to keep y'all too long, but that was that. I just wanted to touch on that and put an emphasis on men really sitting down and evaluating your lifestyle. Look at your day from the morning to the end and realize, see if you were healthy enough the other day, see if you were productive, see what you did wrong, and see where you can improve. And I guarantee most of the time that the things that we can usually cut out on is doing healthy habits. We can boost our testosterone, start touching yourself so much so you can boost more testosterone, and start maybe doing more things that are productive and getting through the day more productive. And you'll be able to get to your goals a lot better if you put more emphasis on looking at your testosterone and understanding that it's very powerful. There's a reason why they don't talk about it a lot through health times. Just look at just look at the stuff that they don't put light on and look at the stuff that they do put light on, and you'll see the difference and you'll start thinking about it. I'm just saying that. There's a reason why not a lot of health commercials on that, because they know what the power does to us men. It brings a lot of power.
Yeah.
There's a good way to wrap it on up, G.
Yeah.
So look, man, we discussed a lot today, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Thank you for the continued support. We're gonna see y'all on the next time. Y'all take care. Peace.
All right.